Rampaging mobs ransacked suburbs, intimidated locals. Britain hasn't seen violence like it since the 70s. Overnight, police flooded the streets of London, restoring calm there, but rioting and looting then spread to the north. There was sporadic violence in Birmingham, Leicester and Wolverhampton in the Midlands, and in the northern cities of Manchester, Liverpool and Nottingham. In the capital, police largely managed to regain control after bringing in reinforcements from other parts of the country. Hundreds were arrested, filling police cells to capacity. Throughout Britain, though, there's mounting anger that gangs of looters were able to roam the streets unchallenged for days. This report from Europe correspondent Philip Williams.
On the fourth night, the violence migrated north, including here at West Bromwich, where mobs ruled the streets. Cars were also set alight. In the Birmingham city centre, there was more looting, windows smashed and frightened locals scurrying to escape.
Still scared now, and I've got to go home. Really scared.
And in Manchester, more of the same. Looting of local shops, cars torched. In the city centre, marauding youths moved from one area to another, often unchallenged. Many just children, some fuelled with alcohol. And in Nottingham, a police station has been firebombed. In London, by contrast, a relative calm, not seen since Saturday. And perhaps this is the reason, a near tripling of police numbers drawn from forces far and wide.
I have this very clear message to those people who are responsible for this wrongdoing and criminality. You will feel the full force of the law. And if you are old enough to commit these crimes, you are old enough to face the punishments.
More images are emerging of the previous night's violence, including this. A young man is bleeding profusely from a head wound. Others appear to help him. Actually, they're stealing from his backpack.
He just took something from his bag.
This is the mess left behind when looters attacked a children's clothing shop.
It's absolutely disgusting. They are feral rats. What are those parents doing? Those children should be at home. They shouldn't be out here causing mayhem.
In the streets of Clapham Junction, shop owners were clearing up the mess left behind by the looters and wondering if they have a future.
At the moment I'm thinking, what now, How do I start now? Where do I go from here,
While the clean-up here has begun, this is still a crime scene. Police are keeping people out of this area. Just over here, the department store, where just fewer hours ago looters were operating with impunity, is now being investigated by detectives. The mood here was lifted when an army of volunteers, armed with brooms, set about cleaning up the mess. Already there have been more than 500 arrests. Police cells are overflowing. So far, the police in London are doing what they could not do the previous night, keep the peace. But it is a nervous calm.
Philip Williams joins us now from Clapham in London's south, just one of the areas hit by the riots. Phil, the government's blaming criminals for all of this, but is there any suggestion there may be other causes?
No, really, most people have come to the conclusion that these are young kids out of control, without social controls, and doing what they want, criminal elements urging them on. But it's clearly a case that this is out of control right now, and that we have a situation here where up and down the country, these young people feel that they have the ability to go where and when they want. But here in London, the good news is they have been controlled for the moment.
So what are the government and the police doing to assert their authority?
Well, really, the government has been talking tough. You heard the Prime Minister there saying we will stamp down on anyone that it reacts in this way. The police too have said that they are determined to stamp this out. They feel they've been caught a little flat-footed on this at times, but now they say they will come down with the full force of the law and use all tools at their disposal. So they are talking very tough, and so far it's worked here in London at least.
Is there a sense, though, that people are feeling let down by the police response?
Yes, there is, and especially here in London, where they were allowed to loot, for example, right behind me here, for about 2 hours without being challenged, a great deal of anger. But now that the saturation policing has occurred here in London, a very much more a sense of security. But elsewhere, of course, Manchester, Birmingham, Salford, Nottingham, they're not feeling so good there because clearly they didn't have enough police there to keep things under control over the last few hours.
Philip Williams reporting live there from London.